Hey guys, today I'm doing my Hit or Quit It thoughts on hauls number 52. If you guys have not seen one of these videos from me before, I'll have my playlist linked down below. And basically I am just going to be reviewing the products I featured in a haul from 10 months back to let you know my current thoughts on those products. Oftentimes when you see something featured in a haul, you never hear it mentioned again unless it's in a favorites or an empties. So what I like to do in these videos is review every single item that I purchase. My inspiration for this series is Kirsten and her What I Thought on Stuff I Bought series. I will have her channel and her playlist linked down below. I will also link down below the original haul video, and I will list and link all the items that I mentioned. So this is a relatively large haul, so I will jump right in with a couple items I had purchased from Sephora with a gift card. And in December they send out, depending on your status, I was just a regular beauty insider, so I'm pretty sure it was a 15 off $50 purchase, and then I had, I think, a $30 gift card, so I was able to get these two products for a great price. And they were two items from a Too Faced Peach Perfect collection. I did film an entire first impression and follow-up on the line, so I will have that linked up in the cards for you guys. So the first thing was the Too Faced Peach Perfect Comfort Matte Foundation. I have the shade Snow. Since then they've added more shades to the range. My perfect shade match would be Swan, which is very fair and yellow tone. This is very fair and a little bit more on the peachy side, but I am able to make it work. Slightly dark, slightly peach, but not too bad. And I have actually used up a lot of this. I'm going to try to pan this one next year. And originally when I got this, I was absolutely in love. I thought I'm definitely going to repurchase this in my perfect shade. It's one of the best foundations I've ever tried, and it is great, but it's not perfect. So I do think this foundation keeps me matte, probably more matte than any other foundation I've ever used, but it doesn't look too dry on the skin, and it works well with other mattifying products. So I love that factor. But unfortunately, this only gives medium coverage and it is not buildable for me. I try to put a second layer on my cheeks and it might build up a teensy bit, but not really, and that is a huge bummer for me because I have a lot of redness on my cheeks. I want to have a full coverage look, and most foundations are buildable for me to an extent, and this was not buildable at all. So for that reason, at least for now, I don't see myself repurchasing this. It is good but not perfect, but I can see myself changing my mind on that because there is a really good shade match for me in Swan, and because this is so mattifying. So we will see what I decide when I use it up completely, but it's good, not perfect, but I would recommend it for someone that does have a more combo oily skin type. And the other item was a Too Faced Peach Perfect Mattifying Loose Setting Powder. I have completely used this up, and I actually just purchased it again and got it yesterday from the Sephora Friends and Family sale. Thanks to my amazing friend Kendra for sending me a code. So this is what the powder looks like. It lasts me forever. This is holy grail to me. It is expensive, but you get a ton of products. You get 35 grams or 1.23 ounces. The powder and foundation together can be a little much and look a little dry in some areas. It just depends on the time of year. When I started using these, of course, it was winter time when I was a little bit more dry, but this powder is amazing. I apply it with a damp beauty sponge to set my entire face. It really helps to keep me matte for a long period of time. My skin feels completely set without feeling too heavy or cakey, which is so perfect for me. However, this powder does oxidize on me and get a little dark and peachy, so I do have to mix this with the Maybelline Fit Me loose powder in the shade Fair, and those two formulas work so well together, and then I get my perfect shade. So even though I do have to mix this product, it is still so good to me that I definitely will continue to repurchase this. It is the best loose powder I've ever tried. I have fallen in love with setting my face with loose powder. I don't see myself going back to pressed powder once I use up the ones I have in my collection, so this is my new holy grail face powder. Then I had a couple items from ColourPop. So the first thing was the No Filter Concealer in the shade Light 10. I did just use that up, but since then I purchased a couple other shades. This one right here is Fair 8. I love the shade Light 10 because it is really yellow tone, and it looks like it's going to be good shade match, but unfortunately these concealers do oxidize an entire shade, so then it becomes too dark. But in the ColourPop concealer range, they also sell a white shade, so once I use up the ones I have, I'm actually going to repurchase the Light 10 shade and mix it with the white because it is so yellow tone, which is what I need. This concealer is amazing. It does give, I would say, medium to full coverage. It's not as full coverage as Tarte Shape Tape, but compared to other full coverage concealers, it certainly is comparable, and it has more of a satin finish, which I love. This is great for blemishes, for under eyes, but how I love this the most is on top of products like the Too Faced Peach Perfect Foundation. I've been applying this on my cheeks, blending it out, and it builds up the coverage so nicely over other foundations. I did that today with the Bare Minerals Bare Skin Foundation, worked perfectly. So I think that this is a great, very versatile concealer, comes in a ton of shades. I absolutely love it, and I totally will repurchase it. Then I had the ColourPop Ultra Blotted Lip in the shade Zuma, which is a really pretty terracotta nude color. I did film an entire review video on this, which I'll have linked up in the cards. So this is a liquid lip that is a little bit more sheer. Now this one wasn't super patchy, but I think it's because I had a nude. If I had a really deep color, I'd be afraid of it being really uneven, and this does feel lightweight on your lips at first, but then it doesn't feel heavy, but you just notice that it feels very dry. It's not drying, but it's like it has that chalky, powdery finish like the ColourPop Ultra Matte Lips. And for me, when I have that kind of finish on my lips, it's very noticeable, and I want to lick my lips because they feel so dry. So this is not a bad product, but it's not something that I tend to reach for a ton, and I definitely don't see myself buying any other shades, but it's not terrible, and I'm happy I tried it. The next item I'm very ashamed about. This is the ColourPop Super Shock Shadow in the shade Lit Year. It's an ultra glitter, a beautiful teal color. I haven't used it once, so hopefully I'll use this one this fall. Let me know if you have any ideas of eyeshadows to combine with this one to get a complete look. So I had purchased a couple things from eBay. The first was a mini of the Lancome Hypnose Drama mascara. I still have that one in my collection, but I have not opened it yet, so I cannot share with you, but I will be using it soon. It just takes me forever to get through mascaras. Even minis take me about 3 months. I should have waited on buying that one, but it was a really, really good price. I never want to pay more than $5 for a deluxe size mascara off of eBay, but this is one of my favorite mascaras I've ever tried, but it is also one of the most expensive mascaras I've ever tried. The brush is a natural bristle. It has more of a wet formula, and it is like, I can't even do it. It looks like a curve, like a caterpillar, and it gives so much great length and volume. My lashes really fanned out, really fluttery. It makes my lashes look so good. I absolutely love that mascara, and I will probably continue to buy samples when I can. I know that that has come up during the 21 Days of Beauty before, but I didn't buy it because I still have the mini and I have a lot of other mascaras to use, but it definitely is a good one. The other item I purchased off of eBay was an OPI nail polish in Ginger Bells. I bought this because I saw this in a LS nail polish declutter video. I have not used this yet, but I plan on using this in November, so I will give you guys my thoughts on the formula then. I really hope I like it. I know this is a really old polish, but it looks fine in the bottle, so hopefully it performs well on the nails. This literally just looks like pumpkin pie. It is so pretty, so I'm excited to wear that and give you guys my thoughts. Then I had a gift from my friend Amanda Alexander. I will have her channel linked down below. Amanda is so generous and sends me stuff all the time. So the first thing she sent me is the Boscia Detoxifying Black Cleanser. Unfortunately, I have not tried this yet. I am so backed up on cleansers. I'm starting to use them in the order that I received them, so I will get to this and review it for you guys in my sample project pan series. This is such a great size. It is 1.7 fluid ounces, so I'm really excited to try that. I think the charcoal line is really great for me and my oily, acne prone skin. The next item is the Dr. Andrew Weil, or Weil, W-E-I-L, for Origins Mega Bright Skin Tone Correcting Serum. This is a 1 fluid ounce bottle. I have been using this on and off throughout the year whenever I basically am in between the serums I have in my sample project pan, but I am using this currently, and I really do enjoy this one. It has a nice consistency that feels a little thick but not heavy. I do feel like it's really moisturizing my skin. It is really soothing. I don't really notice it fading any dark spots or really correcting my skin tone, but I don't have a ton of dark spots or acne spots on my face. But I am going to continue using this consistently, use it up, see what I think. I do like the scent, I do like the texture, how it feels on my skin, the amount of moisture it provides, but I don't really know if it corrects skin tone like it claims to, but I do enjoy the product itself. Then Amanda had sent me the Garnier Skin Active Moisture Balm. I did use that up. That is an awesome moisturizer. To me, I find that one to be very similar to the Belief Aqua Balm, which is an amazing daytime moisturizer for oily skin, and I find that this has a similar consistency and provides my skin with the same amount of hydration. So once I get through all of these sample moisturizers I have, I think I'll actually buy this one from Garnier. It is my favorite one that I've tried so far for an affordable price. And Amanda had sent me the Fresh Black Tea Firming Corset Cream. I did recently use this up in a sample project pan. You can use it on your face or your neck. I just used it on my face. It is a pretty darn thick consistency, so definitely only probably good for nighttime. It was okay, but I didn't notice any firming, and I know Fresh is an incredibly expensive brand, so that is not something I see myself repurchasing. And then she sent me the CoverGirl Outlast 3-in-1 foundation in 810 Classic Ivory. This is a foundation that I've always wanted to love because it is supposed to be a great drugstore foundation for oily skin types. It has full coverage, but I just cannot get down with the shade. It is too dark, too pink, and then it oxidizes on me. There is no shade in this range that is good for me, and I find that very consistent with all CoverGirl foundations. Now maybe with that new True Blend matte foundation they released, they look like they have a ton of shades, so maybe I can find one. But before that, every CoverGirl foundation, the lightest two shades were incredibly pink tone and would never work for me. So because I had so many foundations in my collection, I did pass that one on to my sister. It is a really, really good formula, really good for people that have more normal combo oily skin looking for a matte finish and a nice full coverage, but I was just so upset that the shade match didn't work for me that I passed it on. Then I had a gift from my friend Jean. She sent me a deluxe sample of the Too Faced Primed and Peachy Cooling Matte Perfecting Primer. This is something I have used up, and as you guys know, I have a huge deluxe sample primer collection. But once I get through those, I do see myself repurchasing this. I'll probably buy the mini size because I like trying new primers and it takes me forever to get through them, so I don't want it to go bad by the time I use it up completely. And I think it is like half price for almost exactly half the amount of product, so it's still a good deal. And I really like this one. It does have a really nice cooling feeling on the skin. It has a really nice consistency. I don't think it is the most mattifying, but it does not make my makeup look patchy or ball up on my skin, which is usually what happens with really matte primers. So this is something I definitely see myself purchasing in the future. I do think it is good, but it's not amazing, but I have yet to find any matte primers that are truly amazing, but that one is one of the best that I've tried so far. And then she had sent me the Ordinary High Adherence Silicone Primer. I am all the way down here. I've used up a bunch of this. Now Jean did use a little bit, but I used up majority of this. I use this in all of my foundation first impression videos. This is so good. So I expected this to be like the original Smashbox Photo Finish Primer, really thin, slippery consistency, doesn't do jack for your skin, but no, this is a little bit thicker. It makes my skin feel smooth overall. It helps my foundation go on smoother. This doesn't do anything for pores, mattifying, glow, but I really, really like it for some reason because of the consistency. Now there's a lot of stuff happening with Ordinary right now, like the CEO kind of had a moment and Estee Lauder removed him from the active CEO role. The brand disappeared from Sephora's website months ago, still on Beautylish. I hope it comes back to Sephora because I would love to try some of their products. I've really only heard amazing things and they are very affordable. And this is also a primer I can see myself repurchasing in the future. I think this was like $8 max and it's really good, and it comes with 1 fluid ounce of product. The next thing she had sent me was the Balm Sexy Mama powder, which is a translucent powder. I didn't like this at all. This did have a little bit more of like a yellowy peachy tone that showed up on my skin, so it isn't truly translucent, and it made my makeup oxidize a bit, and it really caked up in the areas that I applied it, and it ended up making my makeup look worse. So that is not something I would repurchase. My Rimmel Stay Matte powder in the translucent shade is my ride or die. I've never found anything I think works better than than that one, and it's only $3 or $4 depending on where you buy it. And then Jean had sent me the NYX hashtag no filter powder in the shade number 2 Porcelain. I have used this some, but not a ton, but I do plan on panning this one next year. This does have a bit of a glow to it, which is nice because it won't make my face look too flat. However, it doesn't give the most coverage, and it also isn't super mattifying. So I do prefer the NYX Stay Matte But Not Flat powder foundation over this one, as well as the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and the Maybelline Better Skin powder. So while this is nice, it's not something I see myself repurchasing. Then Jean sent me some eyeshadows, the first being this L'Oreal Infallible in the shade Glistening Garnet. It's a really pretty pinky purple color. I have not used this one yet. Shame on me. I definitely need to do that, but I know I love the formula of these shadows. And Jean sent me the Tarte Tarteist Pro To Go palette. This comes with 3 shimmers, 3 mattes, some really beautiful warm tone colors. It gives you a really nice, quick, and easy look for day to day. I think that the mattes are really nice, pigmented. They blend out nicely. The shimmer shades really kind of blended away on my eye if I did not put them over a cream base, but over top of a cream base, they're locked and loaded, ready to go. This is a nice palette, but because I have similar shades in my collection and I'm not in love with the formula of the mattes, I do see myself decluttering this one, and I wouldn't say you need to pick it up because we definitely all have those shades. Next, Jean sent me a couple eyeshadows that were made in collaboration with Itsy and Coffee Break with Danny. That would be these 4 shades right here. Unfortunately, I have not used any of them, which is, again, terrible shame on me. I haven't really used much of this palette at all, even though it's very beautiful to look at, so I need to try them and get back to you. I'm wondering if this shade here is a dupe for one of the colors in the Natasha Denona Mini Lila palette, so I cannot give you guys my thoughts on these in particular. I have tried Itsy shadows before and they were just okay, to be honest, and I'm not sure if those are still available. Then she sent me the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, which I have used up. I do like this mascara a lot. It does have a natural bristle brush that's shaped like an hourglass, and it is a pretty dry formula, so this one dries up pretty quickly. It does make my lashes look really full and volumized, but it does flake and smudge pretty badly on me, and I definitely don't see myself purchasing this in the future because I have tried other high-end mascaras and drugstore mascaras that I do prefer. Next was the Kat Von D Everlasting Liquid Lipstick in the shade Julia, which is part of her Farm Animal Sanctuary collection, and I didn't love the color. In a lot of pictures it was looking more pink, but on me it was like a really bright peachy, almost orangey color, and unfortunately it has also expired. Even though it's not old at all, I've noticed that certain brands of my liquid lipsticks go bad quicker than others, and unfortunately Kat Von D is one of them for me. So even though I do like her formula and I don't find it to be the most drying, and the color I wore on my wedding day was Lovesick, which I've also had to recently declutter because it went bad on me. I would love to get another mini of that just to have because it was my wedding color, but because the formulas go so bad on me so quickly, I do not see myself repurchasing those. Then the last thing she sent me was the Ofra Long Lasting Liquid Lipstick in the shade Duchess, which is part of the Nikki Tutorials collection. This is a beautiful, really deep mauve color. It's much deeper than it looks in the tube, which is unfortunate in a sense because I like the color it looks on my lips, but I love this shade in the tube much more because it's lighter, which is more my style. But this is a really nice formula. This is not transfer proof. It definitely will transfer on you, but it is really comfortable and still really long lasting. So I would be interested in trying more shades from Ofra because I am pretty impressed with this formula, and I would recommend it if you can get it on sale. You can buy these from Ulta now. Then I have some items from my Sephora play. The first thing is the Dry Bar Triple Sec 3-in-1. Never use this. I'm not really sure what it does. It says texturizes, amplifies, and refreshes. So I don't think this would be a good dry shampoo. I will try this as a volumizing spray. I need to do that because my hair is so flat and I have so many of those products I get from Sephora Play and I just collect them and haven't used them. So I can't share my thoughts on that. Same with this, unfortunately. It is the Dr. Jart Cicapair Tiger Grass Cream. It is supposed to hydrate and soothe redness and itching due to dryness. is this something you put on your body or your face? Like, this sounds like a medical treatment, not like a moisturizer. So I need to look into this. I will be using this soon though, because it is getting to be one of the older moisturizer samples in my collection. So again, I will let you know my thoughts on this in a future sample project pan. The next thing I had gotten, I was originally pretty excited about. This is the Smashbox Cover Shot Golden Hour Eyeshadow Duo in the shade Turned On and Psyched. These colors are pretty, and the formula actually is pretty nice. They are quite pigmented, and unfortunately I have barely used this because I just don't gravitate towards these shades. They're just a little simple for me. I have things similar, or I just wouldn't want to reach for these kind of colors, so I will be passing this on to someone else. But the quality is pretty good, and I was surprised by that because I've heard mostly bad things about Smashbox eyeshadows. Then I had received, I'm pretty sure what was a full size. It said it was sample, not for resale, but it looked like a full size, which Clinique is pretty good about doing, especially if you get one of their gift with purchases from a counter or something. But it was the Clinique Pretty Easy Liquid Eyelining Pen. It is just like the Physicians Formula Eye Booster Liquid Liner, where it is that brush tip liner. It lasts a really long time without fraying, which is great. I love this. It is something that I would consider purchasing in the future, but I do think the Physicians Formula is exactly the same, and I can get the Physicians Formula on sale for a decent amount of times throughout the year, so I will buy that one instead. But I would highly recommend it. I think it's a phenomenal product from Clinique that not enough people talk about. The last thing was a Makeup Forever Artist Rouge Matte Lipstick in the shade 401, which is a really nice, bright, slightly deeper red shade. Pretty. I do not use or need red lipstick, so this is not something that I would buy. I know that they have a hard time choosing lip colors and it can be flattering to everyone, but it's annoying to me when they put in hot pinks or reds, even though I know those are more universal than a nude or a light pink. But it's a good product, a nice formula, but I'm just not going to get the most use out of a red, but I know quite a few people would. Then from Influencer, I had received the L'Oreal Elvive Color Vibrancy Repair and Protect Balm. I never tried it, which is a shame. I should not have accepted that campaign. And because I didn't go through all of the steps except for the beginning and end survey is why I didn't get another Influencer box for about a year. And I definitely learned my lesson there. I will not accept things I don't want to review, and if I do accept it, I will 100% review it. The next thing was a huge size of the Pixi Glow Tonic, which is their glycolic acid toner. I have not used that big one yet, but I am about to. I am almost done with the Neutrogena one I'm using now. I have like this much left, so I'll be using that soon. But I have used that in the past, and it was very, very gentle. So I like toners that feel like they have a bit of a sting to them, because for me it feels like they're working, even though it's probably not doing it anymore for me. Maybe it has alcohol, which is worse for my skin. I don't know, but I am excited to use the Pixi because a lot of people love it, and I think especially with how big of a size I have, I'll be able to use it for a really extended period of time and hopefully see some difference in my skin. So I will get back to you guys on that one. And the last thing I had gotten were some Juno & Co. makeup brushes and sponges. The brushes were all $2, which is super affordable. I thought that they were nice quality. They were huge though. Like, they had a really long skinny handle, like this long. It was a really, really big brush, so I didn't like that very much. Like, if I could have just like cut the handle in half, that would have been great. I did end up passing those on to some family members because I have a lot of brushes. The sponge I thought was terrible, and a lot of people rave about the sponge. However, I do think they've released some different sponges since then that look the same but are different shapes. I felt like it completely soaked up all of my foundation. It was impossible to clean. So for me, I hated it. So when I was watching all of these videos, I was like, how can people be saying that they like this? I know people are like speculating that those videos are paid positive reviews, but I'm not sure. And as I said, I'm pretty sure that they have at least 2 different sponges on their website that look the same, that they are that like same consistency, the same texture, but they're different shapes. So in my original video, you'll see which one I have, but I got rid of that sucker because I did not like that at all. Much prefer the Beauty Blender and the Real Technique sponges. So guys, that was my very long hit or quit it thoughts on hauls. I would love to know your thoughts if you tried any of these products in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye guys.